January 2nd, 2025, 9:30 a.m., Bastar District, Chhattisgarh. Mukesh Chandrakar, the eldest son of the Chandraakar family, called his younger brother Mukesh Chandrakar. However, Mukesh's phone was switched off. It wasn't unusual for Mukesh's phone to be unreachable since, being a journalist, he often turned it off during reporting or lost network connectivity while venturing into Bastar's dense forests. The brothers had met just the previous day, on January 1st, so Mukesh assumed Mukesh might have gone somewhere to celebrate the new year. Initially, Mukesh didn't think much of it. However, when half the day passed without Mukesh's phone turning on and he hadn't returned home, Mukesh began to worry. Bastar is a Naxalite-affected area where uncertainty looms large. Concerned, Mukesh started calling friends and acquaintances to inquire about Mukesh. Mukesh, known for his journalism, was a prominent figure in Bastar. Mukesh believed someone must have seen him heading somewhere, but no one had any news. Evening fell, and Mukesh was still missing. Understanding the seriousness of the matter, Mukesh filed a missing person report at 8 p.m. The police began their search and started investigating Mukesh's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Mukesh accessed Mukesh's Google location history and discovered that Mukesh's last known location on the night of January 1st was near a farmhouse in Bijapur city's Chatanpara locality. Late at night, a police team reached the farmhouse and searched every room, but Mukesh was not found. Despite further searches, no leads emerged. Friends and colleagues of Mukesh spent the entire night looking for him. As the hours passed, anxiety grew. Morning arrived, but there was still no trace of Mukesh. Desperation pushed Mukesh to review Mukesh's YouTube footage, but he found no clues. However, the farmhouse location kept bothering him. Determined, Mukesh, along with several journalists, urged the police to reinvestigate the farmhouse during the day. Finally, a group of journalists accompanied the police to the farmhouse. During daylight, they noticed something overlooked the previous night: a septic tank with fresh cement on its slab. A chilling sense of foreboding gripped everyone. Suspecting foul play, the journalists and Mukesh requested the police to break open the slab immediately. At 3 p.m., the police began breaking the slab. What they uncovered inside the septic tank shocked everyone. Mukesh Chandrakar's body was buried within. The condition of the body revealed the brutal nature of the murder. No one present had ever witnessed such a horrific sight. Mukesh had been killed with unimaginable cruelty. The post-mortem report showed 15 fractures on his skull, severe damage to his heart and liver, multiple broken bones. His body, submerged in water for hours, was bloated and disfigured. The murder of an honest journalist in a Naxalite-affected region might appear common to some, but the heinous reality behind this crime is deeply unsettling. The reasons, the people involved, and the hidden truths behind this case will make your blood boil. This is not just the story of Mukesh Chandrakar, but a grim reflection of the price paid by those who stand for the truth. Mukesh, only 28 years old, lost his life to expose corruption and injustice. Welcome to this special report. You are watching the case of Shaheed Mukesh Chandrakar. Mukesh started working as a freelance journalist for major channels like Sahara News 18 and NDTV. At a very young age, Mukesh had seen a lot, and that's why he understood the situation on the ground and the problems of the people in a way others couldn't. This life experience reflected in his journalism, making him stand out from the rest. He was an outspoken journalist, ready to go to any length to show the truth in his reports. Mukesh had witnessed Salwa Judum leaders becoming contractors and engaging in corruption. He had seen young boys being forced to hold guns and become special police officers. You might be surprised to learn this, but despite the deteriorating situation in Bastar, Mukesh didn't hesitate to go directly into Naxal territory for ground reporting. Once, he did something that no reporter had ever done before. This incident happened in 2021 when Naxals captured CRPF Cobra Commando Rakeshwar Singh Manhas, and they were about to kill him. The terror was such that even the authorities or police had no courage to enter the Naxal-controlled area. But it was Mukesh who, without fearing for his life, went into the Naxal area, saved the commando's life, and brought him back on his motorcycle. Whether it was saving a commando's life from Naxals or rescuing a kidnapped sub-engineer with the help of his journalist colleagues, Mukesh's courage and bravery were unmatched. Perhaps this unshakable courage was something he inherited from his mother. Mukesh, with his cheerful nature and love for travel, was known as a friend of friends. He was always ready to help people and stood by them during tough times. This was the reason why over time, Mukesh became well known not only among the people of Bastar, but also among reporters. Mukesh wanted to bring the corruption and problems plaguing his district to the world's attention, and so he started a YouTube channel called Bastar Junction. Through his videos, he began shaking the foundation of the system and corruption. This beautiful forest, the range of hills you see, there is a conspiracy to destroy it. The government has deliberately planned a scheme, he reported. He exposed how the system wasn't designed for the people, but to fill the pockets of corrupt individuals. A year ago, a road construction project was completed, but after the rains, the entire gravel and soil washed away. Now, people faced great difficulties while traveling. According to the documents, the construction of a proper bridge was completed and payments were made, but engineers, contractors, and even SDOs were involved in the corruption. Mukesh exposed how the corrupt were putting people's lives at risk while filling their own pockets. He showed another instance of corruption. A bridge built with 50 lakh rupees collapsed after the first rainfall. He demonstrated how taxpayer money was being misused to line contractors' pockets. Mukesh also revealed the poor state of schools in the region, showing that while the government was spending millions to improve education, the reality on the ground was the opposite. Children were forced to cross dangerous areas to reach their school. Mukesh exposed how corrupt contractors were lining their own pockets, using government funds, leaving the schools in a dilapidated state. Mukesh's fearless reporting started having an impact. Whenever he pointed out a problem, work would start at those locations. But as time passed, the corrupt people in the system started feeling the pressure. Mukesh began receiving threats, but he remained undeterred, continuing to expose the truth. Little did Mukesh know that, by digging deeper into the system, he was about to touch a nerve with a snake in the system that would become his downfall. On December 25, 2024, Mukesh was preparing a report on a scam in a Chhattisgarh project. He, along with his reporter colleague Nilesh, started exposing the corruption in the project. This report revealed that the construction of a 52-kilometer road in Bijapur had been grossly inflated from 56 crore rupees to 120 crore rupees. In just a few days, 35 potholes had appeared in just 1 kilometer of the road. The quality was so bad that the road could be removed by hand. Mukesh made this report not just another document lying around in government offices, but turned it into a campaign, a movement. The impact was immediate. As soon as the report was public, the Chhattisgarh government formed an inquiry committee which started an investigation into the project. The contractor behind the project was none other than Suresh Chandrakar, Mukesh's cousin. Suresh, who was once a cook at a police officer's house and was not even a high school graduate, had used his connections to become a contractor and was now involved in crores worth of scams. Suresh spent more than 10 crores on his wedding in 2021, throwing a lavish celebration that caught the attention of everyone. The road project scam became the talk of the town, and Mukesh's cousin was directly involved. The fact that Suresh was Mukesh's cousin made the situation even more personal, and Suresh's anger turned toward Mukesh. Suresh, along with his brothers Dinesh and Ritesh, started plotting to kill Mukesh. On December 31, 2024, Ritesh invited Mukesh to a farmhouse under the pretense of celebrating the new year. However, Mukesh, busy with work, couldn't attend that day. The next day, on January 1, 2025, Ritesh called Mukesh again and invited him under the pretext of having dinner. When Mukesh reached the farmhouse, Ritesh and Mahendraram Teke, the supervisor of the farmhouse, were already there. Mukesh had no idea what was about to happen. As they talked, they suddenly attacked Mukesh with an iron rod. Mukesh fought back, even breaking his hand, but he was overpowered. They hit him 15 times on the head with the rod, killing him. The shocking part was that Mukesh's killers were his own cousins, people with whom he had shared happy moments. This murder was premeditated. Suresh wasn't at the scene, but everything was happening under his instructions. After the murder, Dinesh Chandrakar arrived, and together they disposed of Mukesh's body in a septic tank. The next day, Dinesh went back to the farmhouse and covered the septic tank with cement to ensure that the smell wouldn't leak out and that no one would discover Mukesh's body. Suresh knew that after Mukesh's disappearance, the police would launch an investigation, but he hoped it would be too late. Ritesh is sent to Raipur to leave for Delhi because he often travels to Delhi, so no one would suspect that he fled there. Dinesh and supervisor Mahendra Ramteke stay in Bijapur, while Suresh cleverly goes to Hyderabad under the pretense of meeting a friend at the hospital. However, before leaving for Hyderabad, he prepares a witness by calling a friend in Jagdalpur and telling him that he's going to Hyderabad and inviting him to join. This whole drama was staged so that when the police investigate, it would seem like Suresh went to Hyderabad for that reason and not because he was fleeing. After Mukesh's body was found on January 3rd, the police finally arrested Dinesh and Mahendra Ramteke in Bijapur and Ritesh in Raipur. However, Suresh was still on the run. To catch him, the SIT examined 200 CCTV cameras and traced the locations of 300 phone numbers, which led to his arrest in Hyderabad, where he had been hiding at his driver's house. There are several questions the police need to investigate. For instance, at the farmhouse where Mukesh Kumar was murdered, there were rooms for the workers. Were there no workers there that day? And if there were, someone must have seen or heard something. Secondly, when the slab was moved, didn't any worker see Mukesh's body? It's likely that money and fear kept their mouths shut, but this angle should still be investigated. Currently, Ritesh and supervisor Ramteke have been made prime accused, and it's yet to be determined whether Suresh and Dinesh will be made prime accused as well, and what punishment they will face. Unfortunately, time won't be the deciding factor, but money will, which Suresh has in abundance. We can only hope that Mukesh Chandrakar gets justice and that all the criminals receive the harshest punishment. They should not be spared in any way. Mukesh Chandrakar became a martyr in the fight for truth. This journalist, who through his pen and voice wanted to expose the flaws in the system, was tragically silenced by that very system, leaving the courage of every person supporting the truth shaken. While Mukesh struggled every day to make ends meet with honesty, Suresh Chandrakar, soaked in corruption, lived a life of luxury. Mukesh fought for his community and the truth, while Suresh used his wealth and deceit to present himself as a social worker. Then came a fateful day when the harsh truth of life emerged. A large article was published in Bastar Bhaskar, showcasing the story of an emerging star of Chhattisgarh. But this star was not Mukesh, it was Suresh Chandrakar, a corrupt and greedy man who used his dark deeds to create the image of a great person contributing to society. Every word of the article praised Suresh, describing how he faced challenges and contributed to his field, presenting him as an inspiration. But think about it. The same media world that praised Suresh, the person responsible for Mukesh's death, was now lifting him as a role model. If Suresh is considered an inspiration, what does that make Mukesh, who tried every day to be the voice of the people? Mukesh, who fought for the truth and risked his life, had his existence erased. There are still many people like Mukesh fighting for the truth, but they fear Suresh and people like him. It's not because they're cowards, but because they know if they fight for truth and honesty in this country, they'll find themselves alone. In small towns, there are still many Mukeshes who have fought and been silenced with false charges or threats to their families. We can only imagine how many Mukeshes have been buried in the septic tank of dishonesty. Mukesh answered the question that many people ask: what difference will making a video make? He proved that a video, a voice, and a thought can bring about a big change. Because staying silent won't change anything, and his thoughts shook the foundations of the dishonest. Mukesh Chandrakar is not just a name, he is an example for all those who want to fight for the truth.